Copying and pasting names into hundreds of individual certificates is a guaranteed way to lose a weekend. You spend hours fixing broken alignments, exporting files one by one, and hunting down inevitable typos. To solve this, we use 100PrintsWithMe, a web-based Canva-style editor built specifically for bulk document automation. Methodically, the workflow requires 3 steps. You upload your raw CSV data, map your spreadsheet columns to a visual design, and export the entire batch simultaneously. It completely eliminates the need to manually edit individual layouts or rely on complex graphic design software to achieve high-quality results. What usually requires days of administrative logistics can be knocked out in about 5 minutes. Step 1. Establish the dataset. Navigate to your DataForge dashboard and initiate a new database. You will choose a storage location for your project. You can keep the files stored locally in your browser or enable Cloud Sync so your data is accessible across multiple devices. Next, paste your records into the bulk import tool. You must ensure that the columns you paste perfectly match the expected header names at the top of the window. If the headers mismatch, your text will fail to align correctly later. Once the records are verified, assign this newly imported dataset to your current project workspace to lock in the connection. Now we prepare the document itself. Open the canvas size settings and type in the exact width and height dimensions required for your final print. With the dimensions set, use the left sidebar to drop in your static elements. A basic background shape, your corporate logo, and standard text blocks will serve as the foundation of your template. Locking in these rigid dimensions and validating your raw dataset upfront ensures the automated batch process runs without breaking your layout. Open the Data tab on the left. The system has automatically converted your spreadsheet columns into usable design elements, listed here as smart variables. Drag a variable from the sidebar onto your certificate design. The system automatically formats the field with double brackets. Center the text alignment so exceptionally long names expand outwards evenly instead of running off the edge. By swapping static text for smart variables, you decouple your specific layout from the raw data. One visual template is now capable of serving thousands of unique individuals. This diagram illustrates visual logic. When you need graphic elements to change dynamically, like assigning different icons for different award types, you route your data through a set of logic rules. Open the visual logic pipeline inside the editor to create your first dependency condition block. Set your initial trigger. This system requires an exact string match. If your CSV contains the word innovation, your block must specify innovation. You build a cascading sequence by adding secondary fallback conditions. Add an else-if statement for a different achievement, like leadership, and establish an else return path to catch remaining entries. To apply these rules, select a custom SVG element on your canvas and bind the final output of your logic pipeline directly into that element's properties. Adding logic transitions the workflow from a basic text replacement tool into an intelligent design system that actively evaluates data and adjusts the layout. Step 3 is verification. Click through the active preview records in the sidebar to test your logic before exporting. As you select a new row, the design updates in real time. The text replaces itself, and the logic swap triggers correctly, placing the yellow icon for the Innovation Award. Select a third record, and the layout shifts again. The green ribbon appears, proving the conditions are routing properly for every unique entry. Open the Export Settings menu. You can configure your output file naming conventions here by selecting the specific CSV header, like name, that the system will use to label each file. Before confirming, check your print quality. Select the 300 dpi production setting. Exporting at a lower resolution will result in blurry physical prints. Click Export. The system will begin rendering the individual layers for the high-resolution batch, so allow it the expected processing time to finish the job. Running this live preview check and enforcing high DPI settings prevents you from printing an entire run of flawed documents. Once the render completes, the system verifies the batch and automatically downloads a compiled zip archive to your device. Extract the downloaded archive on your local operating system. Inside, you have 20 perfectly formatted, high-resolution PDF files, accurately named and ready for the printer. To automate your next batch of event passes, ID cards, or certificates, start your workspace at 100PrintsWithMe. Mastering this workflow removes one of the most tedious administrative bottlenecks from your desk entirely.